So since I talk about a double ranging rook a lot, recently I came up with some idea that are adaptable. First one is this. Once a battle breaks out, the pieces will start flying around, and your opponent take a lance and knight and drop it somewhere around the king's head, like this. And it looks like you are in trouble, but actually not, because you can simply take it. If he recaptures, this dragon is dead because of this. Sometimes it's a good idea to just ignore attacks. If, for example, here, if you take this, pawn advances, right? Now this square is under the attack by these three pieces. It's hard for you to defend. But if you just simply move back, his own piece is blocking these two pieces, and as long as it remains right here, nothing happens. Being defensive doesn't always have to be bad, but it usually gives your opponents more chances to fight back. So it's better to be able to play an offensive and defensive move. In this position, your opponent is trying to drop this knight right here. It's a usual position, right? And if your opponents have more pieces, it can be very threatening. In order to avoid this knight drop, this might come to your mind, right? But this is too defensive. This is just protecting this square. You also might think this pawn push is great because if he takes it, you can either develop gold right here if you have one, or silver like this. Then this knight drop won't happen, but this is also defensive. And after the bishop moves back, you will also have to deal with another threat, which is knight drop 4-6, for example. If your silver remains right here, your silver will be under the attack. And instead of these two moves, this will be a better option, because not only it prevents this knight drop from happening, but also you are attacking this square. If knight jumps this way, it's going to be attacking these two square. If you have a rook or golden hand, it can be very effective. Okay, this is going to be interesting. You can simply take the dragon, but if you do, he can drop a bishop right here. You have to run, and it's going to be brinkmate, and you're going to lose. Otherwise, there is a mate against his king, right? And even if you take this gold instead, it's going to be bad. He can still drop it. You run, and you will lose a gold. Even if you try to defend, he can keep going, and there will be no defense. And the question is, there is a good move for you to defend. And actually there is. You have a gold, right? And you can drop it right here. If he takes the gold, you can recapture. And it's going to be repetition. If he takes the silver, the left gold recaptures and your defense remains solid. And if he takes this one instead, then you can take the dragon. He takes the silver, the king recaptures, then there will be no opposing pieces around your king, so your king will be safer. Alright, next one. You might have already come across a similar situation where your opponents approach your server and you take it and you lose the gold. But if you already know how to respond to this properly, there will be nothing to be afraid of. In this position, for example, you can simply take it. It looks like you are in a bad position because this silver will be taken. He also drops a gold right here to keep going, and you only have bishop and the silver that are not suitable for defense, but this is going to be an exception. You can drop a silver, or it can be bishop right here to fight back, and dragon has to move. Then you can drop a pawn right here. Then he cannot drop a gold, right? Because it's protected by the pawn. And with only these two pieces, he will be unable to proceed because your defense is still solid. And this is how you defend against this kind of sacrifice. Alright, next one. This is from my actual game. Technically, my opponent was not attacking the Mino, actually the opposite side, but I thought that was still gonna be good to talk about because it's convenient. In this position, he just dropped a knight on 5-5 to attack this silver. It seems like I'm between the rock and the hard place, because if this silver moves, I will lose a gold, right? And there is nothing I can do about it. But this is a cool one, because if he takes the silver, I can take the dragon, right? And if dragon run, then I can save the silver. Now this gold is protected by the bishop, and whatever he does, I can push this pawn to kill the knight. So it's going to be good for me. Even if dragon goes all the way here, I can still save the silver. This time it moves back this way, and in this way I can still keep my turn. Dragon runs and I can push the pawn and I can win the knight. So sometimes this type of counter move is good, and it also applies to defense, so it's worth remembering. There you have it. To be honest, I'm actually running out of ideas for Mino, but learning what I've uploaded so far alone can help you understand its nature to make you a better player. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk about Mino again if something comes up. Until then, keep it up, and thanks for watching.